Hello and welcome to a scene for Salem by Night. Today, Fenris is looking in the windows of jewelry shops because he is in the market for an engagement ring, and he's at a particularly shiny jewelry shop. Lots of shiny things to look at. So he is enjoying looking in the window. Meanwhile, down the street from him, at a particularly iconic statue, is a newcomer to the town, Jack. And as often happens when in a sea of relatively ordinary looking humans, other changelings will stick out.
So to Jack, Fenris pretty much looks like a what a glabro looks like, except he's got his face is elongated, but he's got the pointy ears. He's got like snow white fur all over him, all over his chest, and not on his face, but like around his chest and on his back. That kind of sticks out of his shirt. And he's well, that's not his he's always like that, but that guy is like 6 foot 10, so he's a big guy.
Okay. Jack, for his own sake, is going to be staring at this particularly iconic statue. The woman sitting on a crescent moon. For a half second, his eyes is going to go ahead and wander from the statue over to the imposing figure once, twice, and to good old Fenris over there. If he looks in Jack's way, he looks like a bit of a anthropomorphized rabbit. One ear particularly straight up, the other one kind of flopped over. If he's looking in this particular direction, he knows he goes ahead and gives a big, deep inhale and an extreme sigh.
Yes, Fenris will look and we'll see him, and he'll smile and like wave him over.
He'll not, no, definitely not going to go over there anytime soon.
She sees that Jack doesn't come. He'll slowly come over, walk over.
You notice that Jack is probably sitting on one of the fences. He looks slightly annoyed by your presence there. In fact, he doesn't even look at you. But when you do approach, and if you do take a seat, he'll say, "Okay, sup."
He'll smile, goes, hello. He'll scratch his head and goes, you're one of us. Do you know? And he'll think, do you know a girl called Alice?
Blink for a few seconds. Maybe.
And he'll smile and goes, oh, well, she's new to everything that's happening to her, so maybe we could go speak to her. I don't know much about what she is. Maybe you know more.
Look, I don't even know if whoever you're talking about is the same person. There are a billion trillion different Alices everywhere. I don't know the Alice that you're talking about, okay, sir? I mean, you can go ahead and see the Alice in Wonderland like type dealio with the rabbit, but you're making too many assumptions. I don't even know who you are.
Yes, my goes, I'm Fenris.
It's like, awesome, I'm Jack.
He'll nod. And he'll say, and he scratches his head and goes, the Alice I'm talking about is blonde. Did he get her last name? No, he did.
No, he did not. He,
She owns a shop around here, and she just became a mage, I think. From always or something from what I can hear, or is becoming a magi.
You are talking gobbledygook. Are you saying that she's like, being integrated into one of the courts around here, or that she's some type of sorcerer. You're not talking much nonsense, not talking much sense either.
And he'll smile and goes, can you enter people's dreams?
He goes and looks at you. You can see my mean. I can see your mean. We both know what we are.
Yes, yes, but some of us are more gifted into entering dreams.
I do not know how the confirmation of my own craft goes ahead and gives you any liberties in the situation you currently find yourself.
He'll just look at him and like look puzzled. And what? And he'll be like, just well, if you entered someone's dream, you might want to know more about them, or actually want to meet them.
I can tell you this much, my good friend. Many women have gone ahead and ran through my head, my dream state, but I've never really wanted to meet them because they always go ahead and disappoint me.
He'll just shrug. And yeah, he'll actually get up and be like, well, if you do want to meet her, she has a shop around here. If you don't, and he'll shrug.
Which one? Where?
And he'll smile and goes, I thought you didn't care.
You're the one offering information. If you want to go ahead and retract that offer or just simply walk away, you ought to do so, like right now.
He'll smile and he'll show you to a shop, like point to a shop that's a bit further.
Go ahead and look at it. Take a hot second to note it. Nod. But simply stay where he is sitting.
And he'll go back to looking at the jewelry shop. And after a while, he'll go in, seeing, I'll say he'll see the rings that he wants. He'll go in and he'll buy them with money he's been given.
And while our dear Fenris is kindly distracted with most of his jewelry shopping, Robert's to go ahead and make himself scarce and disappear away from the statue and make his way down the street in a fashion that the big wolf man doesn't notice him.
The shop, when you get closer to it, is a spice shop. It sells herbs, spices, tinctures, poultices, and also does acupuncture.
Hmm. Well, Jack is going to go ahead and pick up a newspaper off of one of those self-serve boxes. Sort of go ahead and wander in with the newspaper under his left armpit, and just go ahead and make like he is some sort of tourist that is currently lost and interested in this very interesting shop.
And Alice will give him a polite smile, but she doesn't. She lets him look around because it's always annoying when people hurry over and start crowding you for things. But she does make it clear that she is aware he is there. And you know the look on people's faces where they're like, if you want to ask, then I'm paying attention. Kind of look.
Fair enough. You see Jack go ahead and walk down a few of the aisles. You notice he goes ahead and takes one of the few containers, shake it up a little bit, and just take a little waft to it. He actually brings his hand over and wafts the smell over to his nose, rather than snorting it very, uncivilized.
There are a lot of smells in this shop. as you might guess.
Ooh,
Um,
I bet.
but there's a lot of spices that you recognize, and spices and herbs that you recognize, but there's also a lot that you've never even heard of. Obviously, there's more of the ones that are common. The large containers are things like peppers and various different regular herbs. You've got your oreganos and rosemaries and all of that stuff. Um, but the smaller jars tend to have stranger and more potent things in them. If you want a chili pepper that will melt your face off, you can probably guess that the one of the jars will contain it.
That is absolutely wonderful. The woman is currently attending a shop will notice the man who has just entered, goes ahead and takes a brief overview, a brief tour of the area, and he takes a small, like, glass vial of oregano, pepper, and even some of the more Indian spices. Let's just go ahead and say, holds it in the palm of his hand. And by the time he goes ahead and makes his way to the counter, blink. There is a brief moment of as in a brief recognition, before Jack just goes ahead and lays the glass vials on the counter and looks to the woman tending it and says, "Hi, I'm new to this shop, and well, these look pretty damn interesting. Can you tell me any more about them?"
Certainly. And she will go into a long, convoluted, but fairly interesting discussion about every single one of the herbs there, about things that they're good for, things that, both in terms of recipes and also to do with the body, things that they might help with in terms of ailments or preventative measures. There is a lot of information there, and she says it in a very pleasant and professional tone. She does not recognize him in the slightest.
Of course not. Of course not.
At that time, Fenris will walk in. He has a fancy-looking bag with him, and he'll go to Alice and see Jack and smile at him. And he'll smile at Alice and goes, "Oh, I think I met the one the rabbit that was in your dreams." She's whispers that to her.
Oh, she'll look surprised and a little bit happy.
How audible is that whisper again?
No, he would have said it. Well, unless your guys has things to hear better, but he would have said it in quiet enough so that he wouldn't hear.
Rabbit ears are quite attentive. I mean, if you would like, we can go ahead and make this a dice contest.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you want to make it a wits composure, which is your usual notice check, with a -2 dice for the fact that he's trying to whisper? Does that sound like a good compromise?
I will totally accept that.
Nelson?
That sounds good.
All right, we have a wits and a composure. Total of 5 minus 2 is equal to 3. Ba-ba-bow. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he heard.
Jack goes ahead and hears. He notices his hand goes into his back pocket for a quick hot second. He's trying to mask that he actually heard anything, and he's starting to like. One hand goes to his back pocket, the other one brings out a wallet with like several bills in it. Start to lay it down. So how much do I owe you for? He says, like with his head down.
That will be 12.57.
He goes ahead and
I'm
nods,
making
and
up a number based on just out of nowhere. I have no idea how much stuff you put on the counter.
fair enough. A $10 bill goes ahead and gets laid down, as well as 3 others.
She'll give him his change and bag up all the items. Put a business card in there. All the usual stuff. Be careful if you try to eat those peppers within an hour of sleeping. They might give you a bit of acid reflux.
Goes ahead and nods. Thank you, man. He goes ahead and looks at the card. What's on the card?
Alice Papavers, herbs, spices, and alternative medicines.
All right,
The
cool,
address of
cool.
the shop and a landline number.
All right, cool, cool. He'll go ahead and nod. The card's gonna get ahead and get stowed in one of the black bags, and he's going to leave. Well, like matter of fact, not rushing, not acting too quickly, not acting too slowly. Definitely not pickpocketing anything. Just leaving quickly.
Do you want some more hot chocolate? And you can tell me about the rabbit. He does say this loud enough to be heard to Fenris, but seeing as she hasn't mentioned dreams, she figures he's not going to know what she's talking about.
Nowadays, he was just in a shock.
And she will make some hot chocolate. As before, she heats the milk up on a little stove, melts the chocolate in, adds some cardamom, some cinnamon, all that lovely stuff.
Yeah, he'll be happy with that. He'll start drinking again in case that was him in your shop, but he seemed to want to keep his identity secret.
The man that was just in here.
I just now I'm not engaged. To me, he looked more like a rabbit. To you, he didn't, because you don't see change. You do not see us as we are.
That, well, I mean, if he was in my dreams and then he came here, why wouldn't he introduce himself?
He shrugs. As I don't know.
Because that's not creepy at all. Oh well. It seems that along with a lot of madness and oddness about the world, I'm going to have to deal with people showing up on my doorstep knowing more about me than I do about them.
Yeah, if actually he won't give you a hair in a cage and leave it at your doorstep.
I'd hope not.
If you take a box out of the bag and he'll show you the thinner ring on this one, not the other one, just the thinner one. Guys, what do you think of this?
Pretty. Seems not exactly, well, clearly more modern than Celtic, but Celtic inspired, I suppose.
Oh, and guys, I'm going to give it until scratch, guys, when I get married. Apparently, people give rings. I'm not used to this world, really. Until small, really not used to it.
Well, yes, people do tend to like rings, I suppose. Um, it's very pretty. I guess it depends on the person that you're giving it to. Everyone has different preferences.
Until small. Guys, well, I have to give it to my future wife when there's some kind of when the wedding ceremony happens. I think and she'll look at it and goes, I think she'll like.
I'm sure she will. After all, it's supposed to be a symbol, isn't it?
Smile and nod.
It's the circle, the fact that they're a circle, that it has no beginnings and no ends and carries on forever, and that's supposed to symbolize love, and the fact that it's generally made out of gold or other gold, silver, platinum, that kind of stuff, because they don't tarnish the same way. Like bronze goes all green.
She'll nod. She just nods and goes, oh, yes. So it's supposed to symbolize love that never ends.
That lasts forever.
She'll smile. And she'll say, well, if you want to know more, I'll say maybe speak more to Dawn and maybe if I think guys, if you ever feel that you can do new stuff, that you have some kind of new ability, talk to her about it.
Well, I feel like I can do stuff. I guess it's weird. It's like it's like I'm more awake than I was before, but also some of the dream logic comes through. Like I almost feel like I can do things, but I don't know what the things are until I need to do them. She shrugs.
And she'll shrug and goes, well, maybe after that she might be able to help you find your abilities.
The bees have been behaving weird.
And she'll like raise an eyebrow and goes, I haven't noticed. Maybe they have.
Oh, I have a beehive, and I mean before there wasn't much of an issue because I know how to deal with them, but now it's almost like they get out of my way. It's very weird.
And she'll say, yeah, I don't know about enough about mages to help you there. And she'll smile and goes, so if I see the mage that's in the police, I'll tell him about it. And he'll smile and nod. And
Well, that plus the mirror.
sorry,
That plus the mirror.
it's also yes with the mirror. And he'll smile and nod and leave, saying I'll see you maybe later. And yeah, he'll leave.
What kind of direction does Fenris go?
He just starts walking. He starts going into out of the town and starts going into the forest and just walks.
Okay. Do you mind if I go ahead and make a check to see if Jack can shadow you to the forest, not into the forest?
That would probably be Dexter against Wit's Composure.
Fair enough. I'll go ahead and take a specialty of shadowing. And I will spend a willpower. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Bam!
Oh, go. Well, you want?
Hi. That's 5 successes.
Reroll your tens.
Oh yes, excuse me.
I
That's too
think you
much.
do it, to be honest. But yeah.
Pretty well. I mean, it is entirely up to you whether I get any more information than he goes to this forest at this time.
He just walks there. So
Uh,
that's
is he heading to his house or is he heading to the farm?
he's just walking. That's Fenris. He
Oh,
just
yeah, that's true. That's true. He could sometimes just goes for walks.
That is fair enough. That is fair enough. I'll keep in my own notes. But continuing on with the theme.
well, so yeah, well, Fenris will just walk in the forest for a while, before returning home after a few hours of walking. Um, well, that's Fenris for this scene.
Alright, you've been shadowed for quite a bit. Jack will go ahead and break off from his shadowing of you once he realizes that you're just simply out for a walk, and he'll return to the front of Alice's shop, keeping himself out of sight.
Alice is going about her usual business. She gets a smattering of customers. It's not the busiest shop, but there's definitely enough foot traffic that you can see that she's doing okay. Some of it is clearly people there for herbs and spices. There's there's someone that comes in having well, one of the teenagers that lives nearby comes in having tripped over and scraped up his knee, and she puts something on it. You can't really tell from the front of the store exactly what she's putting on it, but she seems to mix some things together and bandage it.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes off with his friends. Just general. She's keeping her shop.
Does the shop go ahead and take any deliveries, or did you send out for any deliveries?
Uh, Not today. I figure she probably gets all her deliveries one in the morning. You know, one morning. Probably Thursday morning. I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. This business card, it only holds information for the shop, right?
Pretty much, yeah. It does have her name on it, but other than that, it is information for the shop.
All right.
You'll notice that there is 2 floors above the shop,
Hmm.
and
Interesting.
seeing as you're hanging around out there, I'm not even gonna make you roll to notice things because sooner or later you'll notice things. There is some greenery poking over the edge of the roof. So it looks like there's a roof garden, but you can't really see much of it from the ground.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Jack's gonna be hanging out there for a while, trying to remain inconspicuous as possible. But yeah, most of the scene is up for you, whether or not Jack will notice Alice leaving or staying put, or whether or not Alice goes ahead and notices Jack.
Well, the longer you linger there, the more likely she is to notice you, to be fair. Or for someone else to notice you and be like, you know, there's a weird guy hanging out outside your shop, right?
You want to make a contest?
Can do, but as I said, the longer you're there, the easier it's going to get for me to notice you and the harder it's going to get for you to hide.
Alright. Why don't you go ahead and get a +1 dice, and I go ahead and get a -1 dice.
Okay.
Empathy, I can talk. Empathy, subterfuge?
Wit subterfuge, I would guess.
Alright, I'll take wit subterfuge.
And I will go with wit's composure being the standard notice thing.
Mhm.
Seeing as I don't need to notice your motives, I just need to notice your presence.
Alright. Rolling. Nope.
So, wits, subterfuge, +1.
You're at empathy, actually, not subterfuge.
Oh, sorry, no, wits composure, I said, didn't I?
Oh,
I
fair
can
enough,
go,
fair
I
enough.
can go with. I said empathy doesn't make sense because she's not looking at your emotions. It's
Alright,
she notices your presence.
fair enough.
Everybody else needs to notice that you're being weird and hanging around. She just needs to notice that you're there because she has seen you.
All you need is a single success to notice a man out there who's been out there for probably for a while,
Mm-hmm.
currently reading a newspaper.
Yeah, she's going to in a lull between customers. She's going to come out
Alright. You
and
notice the
head in his
man
direction.
sitting on a bench, probably closer to the statue with a newspaper, who's trying to go ahead and give the air that he's more interested in his newspaper than anything else. But with the one success, you notice him, and you notice that his newspaper is probably more of a prop at this moment. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
how many times do you go ahead and read the editorials?
Yeah, she's carrying a teacup, by the way,
Hmm.
and she'll just hold the teacup out to him.
He's not necessarily going to take it.
No, he doesn't have to. It's acknowledging that he is out there and that it is a cold day.
At your actions, you going ahead and extending a teapot. Did your Jack just go ahead and flip the newspaper page over again?
It's cold out here.
Then you will actually get a response. Jack goes ahead and says, "Mm-hmm. Cold this time of year in this time of country."
Is there some reason that you have been sitting here for so long?
He goes ahead and folds the newspaper back and goes ahead and shows you the editorial. Apparently, a lot of people have got a lot of things to say about the political candidates this season. He goes ahead and shows you a picture of a very, very pompous candidate with a very, very obvious comb over and wig, who is currently in a mid shout, and there is a caption leading candidate for the Republican Party shouts, "Ye fucking ha," with fucking obviously a asterisk out.
Yeah. Shall we call him Tony Dump?
Yep.
Right. And Lucy's gonna look at Lucy. That's my other character. Alice is going to look at the paper like she's not really falling for it. And is just going to set the teacup down on the bench next to him and head back into the store.
Hmm. If you go ahead and take a notice that, Jack, when you go ahead and leave the teacup, for about 5 minutes, there's a little steam of condensation that goes ahead and flows upwards from it. And then the next time you look, the teacup is currently in Jock's hands. He's taking a little bit of a sip from it. before he puts it down again.
It is tea. It is chai. Chai tea.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sweetened with honey.
Mm-hmm.
But she will just go back into her shop and continue with her things.
How long after that do you go ahead and check again?
She'll look out the door every so often, but she isn't actually going to come back out again. If you want your space and you want to sit on that bench and just watch her store for some reason, then that's weird. But there are lots of weird things going on in her life right now.
Mm-hmm. It's about the 10 or 20-minute mark that you don't see him sitting on that bench. You notice that actually you look towards the front of your shop. One of your patrons may go ahead and step over this one, where it goes ahead and notices a newspaper and that wonderful tea set that you went ahead and lent Jacques, just sitting there with a small note.
She'll pick it up and read the note.
The note simply says, it is one single word, thanks.
And she will go back to going about her business. Because she figures weird rabbits that show up in your dreams and then show up in real life but look like people. One more weird thing to add to her list, along with fallen angels that leave caged hares at your door, and people that you've known for several months turning out to not just be pagan style witches, but actual magic users. All stuff to get used to. And unless there's anything else that Jacques would like to do, I think that the scene can end there.
I'm good with that one.